Fanalysis.
How you doing, guys, and welcome to another episode of Fanalysis. Big congratulations to Chris Eubank, who on the weekend stopped Liam Smith in spectacular fashion. I've got to say, there was a lot of people, a lot of experts doubting Chris Eubanks, and I don't think all of it was justified, because for those that have competed in whether it's boxing, martial arts, you know how it works, and just to write him off like that, I just thought it was wrong. Now, if you look at the first fight, despite what people were saying, Chris Eubank was the one who dictated that pace in the first fight. He decided to not go fast, and he decided to box the way he was boxing. What Liam Smith did was Liam Smith went forward in that high guard, and that was his tactics. He kept going forward, pushing forward like that. But it was Eubanks that was putting in the work, and basically he appeared, to me at least anyway, to be the better boxer, and he won those rounds. Now, the reason he got caught in that fourth, to me, was where he trapped himself in the corner, and he was trying to be not fully like he had in the past, but do the Roy Jones thing. And when he was in the corner, he pulled his head back and got caught, and then got a combination of flurries on him that wobbled him and took him out. But to his credit, yes, he got took out, but he did try to continue. He wasn't in any condition to continue, but he tried. Now, going on to this fight, I just want to say that regardless of the weight cut, the ankle and the back, I don't think it would have made any difference if those things were all right, because we could say the same with Eubank in the first fight, but everyone dismissed that. So I suggest we dismiss that now and just look at the fight. Now, with this fight, Eubank just put on a much better display. And I know 4.5 weeks isn't a long time, or 5 weeks with Bomat, but I think it was more than just the physical. I think it was the mental. Him knowing that he's in a camp with someone that's trained Terence Crawford mentally made him feel better. And I think there were things that he learned in that short space of time. Bomat wasn't trying to change his style, but what he did do is he studied Liam Smith, and he studied that last fight, and he's seen the mistakes. So what they did was whatever they needed to do to nullify that attack, and it worked. For example, Liam and Chris Eubank, they started off similar to the previous fight. First round a bit cagey. In the second round, I think there was a slight push. In the fourth round, he put Liam down. But Liam hadn't changed anything, while Eubanks had. Where Liam was throwing them hooks previously in the first fight, Eubank was pulling his head back and trying to move out of the way. This time, as Liam threw a hook, Eubank would move in on the opposite and put his head on his shoulder and just hold on and then push away. But instead of pushing away and coming back with his head out, he just moved to the next shoulder, and then when Liam tried to counter with that, he ended up hitting Eubanks on the head. Then he'd kind of push and box out of it. He's fought a smarter fight. And to be fair and to his credit, he did well. Now, I think where Liam went wrong, and it's not just Liam to blame, it's his trainer. And I have to say his brothers, because he was getting advice off his brothers. They became complacent. And time again, Liam said in the weigh-in, in the press conference, I don't have to change. I just need to go and do the same thing. It's you that needs to change, Chris. I'm just going to go in there and do the same thing and knock you out again. And then what excuses are you going to use then? Well, that was a mistake. If they'd have watched that first fight, his trainers and his brothers, they would have seen that Eubanks was outboxing him. And they would have also seen that the reason he got knocked out is because he was complacent and because he pulled his head back. It wasn't so much because of what Liam was doing, it was because of his mistakes. But the experts and a lot of boxing fans went along because nobody wants to appear different and look like they don't know what they're talking about. So if everybody says the same thing, we're all in agreement, we can't all be wrong. Well, yes, you was. Most of you were wrong. So, you know, I think Eubank did extremely well. He was extremely confident. Don't want to hear about the weight cut, the back, the ankles, because it wasn't appropriate when we all knew that Chris was meant to fight Conor Benn, and he brought himself right down to 50, cut weight to 50, was it 157? And he looked gaunt. But all that was overlooked. So fair play to Chris Eubank. Went in there, did a job, and did it well. He went in there, he had the game plan, he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew from the first fight, he told Liam that he was winning them first 3 rounds, and Liam was calling him delusional. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the only people that were being delusional was Liam Smith, his trainer, and his brothers. They should not have took this second fight lightly, and they should have been a bit more professional, especially with the weight if he's saying he had to cut. So really, it was a bit hypocritical to bring in them excuses when they criticised Eubank when he hadn't really said anything. He was always asked about the weight cut, but he said the better man won because he knew he was going to come back. He knew what he had to do, and he come back and he did what he had to do. Now Ben Shalom, I don't know what he's on, but he is making so much excuses. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. All they need to say is the better man won. The better man on the night won. That's it. Well, guys, that's me giving my view on the fight. And well done, Chris Eubank. Well done, Bomac. And I hope they continue to work together. And the fight I want to see is Conor Benn and Eubank. But not yet. Conor Benn needs a few more fights. But that's the fight that we need to see. I know it's not a title fight. And it's a big money cash grab fight, but it's a fight that needs to be made, and it's a fight that will be exciting, and a lot of people will want to watch that. So, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Catch you later. Don't forget, if you like the video, like, share, and subscribe.